Milt Lady joins us, White Township Manager, this morning. It is a Tuesday, and the White Township Planning Commission scheduled to meet tonight, yes?
They are.
The supervisors then tomorrow night?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. That'll be the basis of our conversation today. There's a lot to cover today, and first of all, we know that within the White Township overall community, the supervisors themselves, the passing of Jerry B. is such a sad thing, isn't it?
Certainly. Our condolences from the township staff to the Boer family. Certainly a loss for us as a township. Jerry spent a lot of years there, 20 plus years as a supervisor. Certainly was always looking out for the public safety of our residents, and we'll miss him dearly, and rest in peace.
Yeah, he was. We always talk about his voice in terms of his radio voice and how booming it was and how wonderful it was to hear it. But he was a voice in a figurative sense for the people of White Township, too. So he will be very, very sadly missed. Funeral services
absolutely
going to happen today. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on in White Township. This I had the plans display now, and the Oakland Avenue extension or widening project, it is on, isn't it?
It is. They kind of put out the timetable at the meeting last week. Certainly they're looking for construction in a couple phases, starting in 21 with mostly utilities and finishing up in 2022. So it's a good thing for the community. I know everybody driving that corridor sees all the people that are walking along the streets and the cow paths that have popped up along the road. So they're going to be adding sidewalks to the one side, and then also bike lanes on both sides. So those will be nice additions to the multimodal type transportation concept, and get the people off the grass and cow paths onto sidewalks. So,
now, explain the connector thing with Salzburg Avenue. What's that about?
Yeah, well, the bike lanes are coming down. The project ends at Rustic Lodge Road. Mm-hmm. So to connect, there are bike lanes already on Rose Street, so they were looking at some sort of a connector to get from the bike lanes that end at Rustic Lodge over to Rose Street. So they contacted the township and asked if they could put bike lanes on Salzburg Avenue. Mm-hmm. So next summer we're going to do some work on that. We're going to try to do some ditch work, widen it a little bit, and repave that street as part of our work before they put the lines down.
Yeah.
So it'll connect. People riding their bikes can just jog down Rustic Lodge for 100 yards and then take Salzburg all the way to Rose Street. And then you take Rose Street right down to the Hoodlebug Trail.
With a road that is as major as this one is and has so much traffic on it, and with as ambitious as this project is, there are all kinds of things that we might not consider. It's more than just, cleaning off the side of the road and putting pavement over top of it. You've got some storm sewers that have to be moved, yes?
Sanitary.
Sanitary
storm sewers are PennDOT's responsibility on that section. But we are responsible for moving the sewer. They'll have their contractor do it, but our engineers have reviewed the plans and approved them so they meet our standards and specifications. But there's a lot of infrastructure, new traffic signals, ADA accessibility at the signals, pedestrian crossings. All that has to be done. Water, gas.
What's the center lane going to be like? Is that going to be all the way, left or right?
It varies in different sections. There's a couple dual turn lanes. Mm-hmm. There's a couple dual through lanes. It kind of varies as it goes from intersection to intersection. So it's not like one plan fits all where it's dual through lanes the whole way. Yeah. At the Eaton Park intersection, there'll be some dual turning, left turn lanes. And at Walmart, there'll be some dual turn lanes also.
There will be much to discuss over the years that this project takes to complete.
Yeah, there's a new bridge coming in, and it's a lot of traffic in that area, so this should help out.
Big doings. All right. Meanwhile, you transition now. You begin the transition from winter to spring. You hope against all hope that you won't have to get the plow trucks out again. But it's time, isn't it?
Wishful thinking there, Todd.
It is time to start cleaning up from the winter.
It is. We got the street sweeper out yesterday, so it's starting to take the anti-skid off the roads. I know there's been seeing motorcycles out there, so we want to get those little ball bearings off the road. So just keep an eye out for the street sweeper. It'll be in the neighborhood. If you can refrain from parking on the streets, that would be appreciated, so that we don't miss those spots and have to come back and get them later. So just keep an eye out. It is a slower moving vehicle.
Yeah, and then you get to work on projects for this year, and there are some in White Township this year, aren't there?
There are. The sewer projects are still in progress. Fulton Run, sanitary, we're still hoping to complete that this year because the grant dollars go away if we don't. Also, the 286 East Airport Road sanitary extension project is still continuing. Moving along slower than I'd like, but it's progressing. We're still in the process of purchasing right-of-ways and continuing some engineering.
Yeah, that takes a while, doesn't it?
It does. It's a major project. It's almost a $3 million project in-house.
During this visit each month, we've been talking recently about stormwater retention ponds and getting them all in shape. What's it look like on that front? Yeah,
the township's taken over ownership of some of the ponds, only the ones that are within developments that actually take on the stormwater runoff coming off our streets. We just don't take over private ones. If our water coming off our roads is impacting that pond, then we will consider working with the owners to take those over, as long as they're engineered and reviewed and meet the original specs that they were designed. And what we're finding out on a lot of the ponds is they're just not being used to capacity. You know, they're not. They're not holding the water like they're designed when we have these torrential rains. They only fill maybe up halfway or something like that. So we're trying to, and so what we do is we take the outlet structures and we put orifices in them to try to hold back that water and improve the overflow chutes and discharge areas. So we're trying to make the ponds work harder to avoid downstream flooding as best we can.
And you're looking at other locations as well, right?
We are. We have a couple other developers that are have their engineers reviewing the ponds to make, because it's up to the owners to make up modifications or rehab them before they turn them over to us to make sure they're working as designed. And then that's when we make our improvements to make them work better.
All right.
So there's a couple other locations we're looking at.
Talking this morning with Milt Lady, White Township Manager, about various things within White Township as we transition from the winter season into the spring. One of those transitions is going to come at the White Township Recreation Complex. People have been skating and enjoying that sheet of ice for a while now, and it's not so long from now that the season comes to a close.
It does. The first weekend in April, the IUP has a tournament, and that kind of ends the season out there, and they'll shut down the compressors and let the ice melt, and that'll be like August or April 7th that'll happen. And then we transition, the crew transitions outside and starts getting the parks and all that ready for people to use and doing ball fields and all that. So sure sign of spring is on the way once you see the guys out there.
There you go. And we're looking at renovations that are scheduled then for the S&T Bank Arena.
Correct. We're in the next step of awarding the engineers we're reviewing their proposals, and then we'll award a contract to the engineer to finish the design for the renovations and hopefully get those out to bid this summer. There'll probably be a couple phases, try to get some work done this summer and then follow up next summer with finishing that project also. And that's mostly mechanical, insulation, roofing, HVAC systems, things like that.
So many things you got to deal with at this time of the year. You're thinking about that, everything at the S&T Bank Arena, getting the crews outdoors and working there. And meanwhile, you're looking ahead to summer, and it's time to start taking bids on some of the materials that you'll need for the summer schedule.
Sure. We got to get our stone for our road projects that we do, fixing up ditch work, things like that, asphalt bidding. So all those are being advertised this week. Also, we are out for bid the new traffic signal that's going in at the intersection of Warren Road and Ben Franklin and Indian Springs. And that was one of Jerry B's projects. He was because of the left turn lane, that there wasn't a light for that left turn signal to go down Warren Road. So that was one of his projects he pushed. So we're happy to put that out to bid and get that moving forward in honor of Jerry.
Absolutely. I know that the comprehensive plan is also something that you're dealing with this winter and into the springtime season and through the year. So, and folks can be a part of that, correct?
That's correct, yes. We have a newsletter coming out in a couple weeks. It'll show the link, but the link is to our website, and you can pull up that survey, and we ask you to participate. Gives us ideas of what we'd like to see the township to be in the next 5 to 10 years. We use that a lot in working on our next projects and what we want to see in the future here. So we certainly welcome all your comments and really want you to consider taking the survey.
Boy, this has been a really jam-packed meeting here that we've had today.
It is. We're busy. We're a busy township.
Well, that's good to know. And you're going to be busy tonight. Planning Commission tonight, supervisors tomorrow, right? What's up with
correct.
those?
Planning Commission, we have a sketch plan review for the new Indiana County Conservation District office. That's going in out at the Indiana County Votech property.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a review on that. Supervisors meeting, we should be adopting the stormwater management ordinance that we've been working on for several months, and also the speed limit ordinance on White Farm Road and Pinecrest Drive.
Yeah, nice.
Road. I'm sorry.
I see some of the discussion will include the state police fee proposal coming from Harrisburg that everyone's thumbing their noses at and saying boo hiss.
Yeah, that's certainly. We understand that there has to be maybe some discussion there, but we certainly don't like to see those mandated projects coming out that force us to play our hand. We'd rather work on an agreement or negotiate those kinds of things rather than being told by state government what we need to do.
Open up your wallet.
Yeah.
Basically,
yeah,
filled by
basically it.
filled by state government. Open up your wallet.
They can't
we'll
pay
just take
for
the
it,
whole
so
thing.
make us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So all of those things are on the agenda, and a very, very busy season coming up for White Township. Milt, thanks so much for coming in. This has been pretty informative today.
Thank you. Glad I'm here. Have a good day, everybody.
All righty, there you go. The voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. Fox News on the way.